Welcome to Real Truth Real Quick. My name is Rick Smith. I'm here with Todd Wagner. How you doing, Todd?
Well, Rick, hello, friends.
All right, well, we're going to teach some folks a new word today, maybe for some of the folks out there, onanism.
Yes.
What is onanism, and is onanism a sin? All
right, let me answer the second part of that first. Yes, it is a sin, but not for the reason that it's most prominently referred to, all right? We did a Real Truth Real Quick recently on masturbation, and too many people will say that masturbation is a sin because of Onan, all right? Because the sin of Onan and what he did was masturbate. That is not a right understanding. You need to watch the Real Truth Real Quick on masturbation and hear what we say about that. But let's talk about onanism and what it really is. It comes from Genesis chapter 38. In the ancient Near Middle East culture, the way that land was passed down is through your male posterity. And the practice was that if there was a widow, that other family members, the oldest brother would come and then would give that widow a child. Okay? Onan was willing to go into Tamar and have sexual relations with her, but he was greedy and thought his opportunity to own the land of his brother eventually would be if Tamar ended her life without ever bringing forth a male child. And then, therefore, Er's family and property would be assimilated into his. And so his sin was greed. His sin was disobedience. His sin was deceit. And what he would do is he would go and have sexual relations, and then he would withdraw at the moment of climax and did everything he could to keep Tamar from getting pregnant. And God judged him, killed him. Okay? Thankfully, we don't pass down property now through male posterity. Thankfully, God is not dealing with us with the same severity that he did when he dealt with folks in the Old Testament times. And so when we're greedy, God doesn't kill us, but greed is a sin. Selfishness is a sin. Not fulfilling your duty as a man under God's decree is a sin. And that's the sin of onanism. But it's not birth control through the discipline of withdrawal at the moment of putting your seed in your wife, which I would not recommend as an effective form of birth control. You know, we did actually a Real Truth Real Quick on birth control. And remember what I said about the guys who practice the rhythm method, right? The rhythm method is you try and figure out how your wife is ovulating in her cycle and count the number of days between a woman's periods so that when she's most fertile, you're not having intimacy and relations. And I jokingly said then, you know what they call people who practice the rhythm method?
You tell me.
Parents.
Right.
And I would say, if you try and not impregnate your wife by doing what Onan did to Tamar wrongly, you'll probably be a parent as well. But here's what I would say. Onan's problem was not what he did in the context of that relationship. It was the motive behind it and the reason that he did it. So his sin wasn't masturbation. It says he spilled his seed on the ground, but not in isolation. All right, and I would really encourage folks to watch. Anybody who's probably searching for this is either an Old Testament scholar, reading in Genesis 38, wants to learn a new word, or really has a question about masturbation and someone has told them they shouldn't masturbate because they're committing the sin of Onan. And I would say, no, you're not. You might, however, be committing other sins and likely putting yourself in harm's way by masturbating, but watch that one on masturbation. There you go.
All right, so here we go, under 5 minutes. Congratulations. So I hope this was helpful to you, and we'll see you next week on another episode of Real
Read
Truth
your
Real
Bible.
Quick.
You learn all kinds of stuff.